On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, Catalan Dragons playmaker Luke Keary cops a fine for ridiculing Super League, but it could have been much worse. New South Wales winger Brian To'o unable to train, forcing the Blues to call up a fresh face just in case. And at least 16 players rubbed out by the QRL over 47th Battalion no-shows. But first up in the Northern Hemisphere, British officials have gone soft after initially talking tough over Luke Keary's controversial comments in the media about Super League. Instead of getting the big stick out, as per the early indications, Keary has escaped with a fine of just £1,000, with half of that suspended until the end of the 26 Super League season. This comes after the Catalan Dragons playmaker pleaded guilty to making public comments which breached the RFL's operational rules. And for those who missed it, Keary called the coverage of Super League horrendous and called for an NRL takeover in an interview with Australian publication Wide World of Sports. In other news, Hull KR forward Suaso Su has been cleared of a Grade E spitting charge by an operational rules tribunal. The charge was handed to Su following Rovers' 8-6 Challenge Cup final victory over Warrington at Wembley. The Robins now preparing to host the Dragons in one of the Friday night Super League matches, which you can hear live and free right here on rugbyleague.com. In the Southern Hemisphere, Bulldog star Jacob Kiraz has been rushed into Blues camp as cover for Brian To'o, who's got a hamstring problem. 1 week out from Game 2 of Origin in Perth, To'o will be rested as a precautionary measure, but is expected to train on Saturday. In player signing news, the Dragons have announced that hooker Jacob Liddle has penned a 3-year contract extension. The new deal will keep the 28-year-old in the Red V at least until the end of season 2028. The Dragons involved in the opening match to round 15 of the NRL, with Cronulla hosting them in a big local derby, of course, in the Thursday night fixture. And finally, in country rugby league news, at least 15 players have been suspended by the QRL for not turning up to the 47th Battalion Carnival last weekend at Bundaberg. The whole thing was marred by players refusing to play. Even the winning team, Sunshine Coast, was impacted, with 9 players now suspended for 1 game after failing to make the trip north, even though they all produced medical certificates. Sunny Coast basically won with a second-string side that included at least 1 reserve grader. And as for Central West, they effectively forfeited, which resulted in the draw being changed just days before the carnival. And since then, 6 players have been given 2 match suspensions, with the Central West finals getting underway this weekend. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's the latest in news on rugbyleague.com.